Welcome to From Point A to Point P. I'm your host, Lee Hall, and today we're doing green screen and color correction. Whee! Alright, this week, as I said before, green screen, color correction. So, how this show works is I'm going to show you two things each week. Well, every other week for this show. And then the week after, I'm going to show you a short film using those two things. Next week's short film is called Curse of the Cure, and it will be implementing color correction and a green screen. So, I'm excited for that. It'll turn out great. But right now, let's jump into color correction. Alright, so color correction. Color correction is the idea that you can change the color of your film to match the tone of what you want to show in your film. So, for example, I want to show that my character is sad, but I don't want her to be crying because she's not that sad, or I don't want her to come out and say, I'm sad. I want you to get the idea from the image rather than the dialogue. So, if you tint it maybe blue, that could create the idea that she's sad. Show, fo, bo, lo, to, go. Alright, freestyle. So, pretty much what we're going to do is we're going to be showing you how to do that. And pretty much any editor can do this, so let's watch it. Alright, so what we have here is we have a shot of Carson. Carson's a good friend of mine. So, you see here, it's him trembling. But I don't feel like maybe just having that in my film, so I'm going to do color correction. Oh, and by the way, you see this rickety thing? This is near a trailer park because we film faster when our lives are at risk. So, we solve that problem. Alright. So, what we're going to do is, it should be anywhere, and you're going to go to Effect, Color Correction. Alright, now there's two types. Curves is not going to be your normal. There will probably be a general color correction or something along that line, but there will always be a brightness and contrast. Now what I recommend is, for this, the brightness isn't too bad, so I'm only going to turn it down maybe like -1. So that gives it a little bit, but you're going to want to crank this up to maybe 15 for After Effects or whatever. But you see, now the blacks pop. That's not racist, that's just a color correction term. Yeah, I stole that from a video, but so this or this. This video looks nice-ish, but this or this. It's a much crispier, I guess, would be kind of a sexy word to use, video. So anyway, that's the setting I use, and depending on the situation, you might want to go a little more extreme or a little less extreme. But color correction. So once we have that, we want to make it sad. So we're gonna go, okay, well, red, that's kind of a warm color. We'll turn that down to like that. Now it's blue, but we don't want it that blue. Maybe just a little bit more like that. Turn the green up to a tad. Alright, so now you can feel the sadness. It's just awfully sad here. He's just bawling because it's so sad in this cinematic film thing. So that's pretty good looking. But we could also make it happy while being sad. So I guess, alright, so now I accidentally got rid of that, so we're going to go to color correction, and we're going to go to curves again, and I'm going to cut a lot of this out. But, alright, so we're back here. we want to make this happy now. We're going to go to red, and we're going to crank this baby up just a little bit, just enough so you know what we are feeling in this beach. So green, we're going to turn that up a little bit. Alright, maybe not that much. We're going to maybe go back to red here. Pretty much nothing else is going to be like this, so don't really worry about it. We're going to turn down the blue. And now we have a nice little, I guess it could be happy, but since it's in this situation, I don't think you can be happy with a fence like that. So I decided to go with the blue tint or color correction because I wanted him to look sad, and it turned out pretty good. So this should be something like your final product with the color correction. Alright. So, there's a few things I also want to bring up. The reason the show is called From A to P is because amateur to pro. Even though the show is more like amateur to less amateur-ish, I guess would be the term. Color correction, check. Now we're on to green screen. Green screen is where you can take a location from a picture or a video and put it behind you so you don't actually have to go to the location. I'm going to show you how to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get on the screen and alright, so once in your editor of choice, mine being After Effects, what you're going to want to do, well, first you're going to, and for green screen, what most things do is you want to first get, you want to first get to the green screen footage here, so it's me in front of a green screen. For After Effects, since my green screen is kind of small, what I want to do is I'm just going to do a rough mask here, so like that. Oops. Alright, so now I have this. What you want to do for most editors is you want the footage, the picture or the video you want to be your background as the bottom. Make sure it's good sizing. So like that, that's good enough. And then, now what most editors will call it, it'll be some sort of, it'll probably be chroma key is what you want to look for. And then something like, this is a lot more complicated, but something like this will pop up. You'll get an eyedropper and you'll want to click the background. So see, now it's kind of faded. Like, so it kind of blends in with the background. And I'm in a cave now, see. Well, yeah, well, I'm not really in a cave. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to turn screen gain. So you're going to do that. This is just going to be a rough idea, but you're going to want to mess around with settings like these to get it to show where you don't have any green in the background like this. So now, when you're on the actual green screen, I'll click off here, you'll be here and you can move and stuff and it'll just stay in the background. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to maybe color correct this footage. So you know how you learned about that stuff early? You want to color correct it to get it to match your background. Why are we at China yet? We've been digging for so long. And why do I have this ad? This doesn't show me anything about it. I want to go home.